John Fetterman, senator from Pennsylvania, recently elected, had a stroke and became a Republican. Was a Democrat, called himself a progressive, said he was a Bernie Sanders style Democrat, and now he's just straight Republican. And all of his insults to anybody are always towards the left, the radical left. Yeah, the radical left that wants to end a genocide in Israel and wants everybody to have health care. Yeah, radicals. We want to raise the minimum wage. Oof, radical. We want to end some wars. Oh, radical. Oh my God, you're just so radical. Oh, just gimme, gimme, gimme. Oh, you want your health care and your Social Security? Oh my God, you're so radical. The founding fathers wouldn't have had it. Shut up. I want war with everyone. I want to take away all of your health care and all your social services. And I want you scrounging on the street for scraps. We're not radical, we're America. Anyway, I've never seen anybody have a stroke and then change their political values, but John Fetterman has done that. John Fetterman has become basically Israel's senator in America. And lately he has been having some epic meltdowns. I think the first clue was, look, I was in support of him over Mehmet Oz when he was running for senator for Pennsylvania recently. And because he was saying all the right things. He was saying Bernie type stuff. He was, tweeting all the time about, healthcare and immigrant rights. His wife is an immigrant from Brazil. And she's also a activist and a progressive on her own. So, it was kind of a no-brainer that I was going to vote for, I'm not in Pennsylvania, I'm in New York, but I would support voting for John Fetterman over Mehmet Oz, Dr. Oz. Jesus Christ, I'm not going to get into Dr. Oz right now. He lost, he's gone, whatever. Although I believe he's back. Donald Trump's got him in his cabinet, so wonderful. But John Fetterman, before the election, has a stroke. It's a bit debilitating because you see him at the debate and it doesn't look really good. And he was winning handily up until that debate. And then it ended up being a very close race, but John Fetterman pulled it out. And, everybody on the left was very sympathetic. He's like, oh my God, man, he had a stroke. He's still, let's hope he's still got his brains and he's got his good sense about him. But, let's be empathetic and sympathetic to the guy's needs. Well, he's just become just a Republican all of a sudden. He talks glowingly about Donald Trump all the time, and every time he bitches and complains, it's always about some radical leftist. Well, recently he was on an airplane, and he wouldn't put on his seatbelt. The flight attendant asked him, he wouldn't do it. And then the flight attendant had to literally go get one of the pilots. And the pilot is talking to him like a 4-year-old. He's like, I understand that, Mr. Fetterman, but you need to put on your seatbelt for all of our safety. It has to be visible. And, Fetterman, cave troll John Fetterman, who just departed his swamp that, lives right next door to Shrek. He's like, I don't have to wear my seatbelt, in the swamp, so you're just a radical leftist. Oh my God. I remember it was like a year or two ago, he got into a car accident. And the news found the car, somebody reported the accident. John Fetterman fled the scene. He was gone. He wasn't there. And that should have been our first sign. Well, recently there was an article that came out that was written by his former chief of staff, who has since left, and it was corroborated by a couple of anonymous sources. Yeah, I know it's anonymous sources, but at the same time, that's generally how news gets done. You have one person, that is on the record, and then it's corroborated by other sources. They don't have to be out there in public. But the guy is like, he's not taking his medication. His former chief of staff is saying John Fetterman is not taking his medication. He bought a gun. The fact that he wrecked his car and wouldn't let anybody drive him. He's wandering around in the street. He met with a couple of other Congress people, and the guy was like, "Hey, Mr. Fetterman," and he's just like, he looked at him, he didn't shake his hand, and he just kind of wandered off and walked right into the street, like he doesn't, there's the pilot light is not on. I mean, but meanwhile, he lights up when Bibi Netanyahu came here and gave him a gold pager. If you don't know anything about the gold pager, I got to tell you. Last year, there was, some war crimes done by Israel where they intercepted some pagers heading to, they thought heading to Palestinians. Turns out they were heading to a lot of different people. And those pagers were armed with explosives on the inside and ended up killing a lot of innocent people, including a little girl that was on camera. The shit just blew up right in her hand. And, as a joke, as a troll, Bibi Netanyahu gave Donald Trump and John Fetterman a gold pager. And John Fetterman just accepts it and smiling at it, going, "Oh, this is really great. I will cherish this. I got to make sure there's no bomb in it first, but I will cherish this forever." This guy, honestly, from what I'm hearing from his former chief of staff, he is not the same guy he used to be, and he's not taking his medication, and he's obviously going through some serious emotional issues. I mean, as soon as he took office, he ended up taking a couple weeks off to go get some mental health, which I'm all for. But when he comes back, he's a Republican? Is that how it works? You have a stroke, you're a Republican? I guess it's like the Elon Musk, if you have Asperger's, you can't stop giving, Nazi salutes. But anyway, somebody needs to check in on your boy, John Fetterman, just give him a little check-in. I don't know what his wife, how she's coping with it, but one of the quotes from the article with his former chief of staff said that he overheard a conversation between him and her, and she was talking about how can you support this? They're killing babies over there in Gaza. I can't rightfully support this. How can you do it? And he goes, "It's all propaganda." John Fetterman says, "It's all lies. It's all propaganda." And I'll tell you this. Recently, I personally met an Israeli man who was here visiting on holiday. And he tells me that he's, from Israel. And I'm like, wow, yeah, a lot of stuff going on over there in Israel. He goes, "It's all lies. It's all propaganda." I'm like, well, I'm seeing videos. I'm watching the carnage. I'm seeing the explosions. I've seen the videos and the photos of Gaza that looks like absolute holy fucking hell. It just looks like rubble. And you don't know that? He goes, "Oh, that's just all lies. It's all propaganda. It's in another country. It's not really happening. None of that stuff is happening." These people have somehow convinced themselves that all the carnage is fake news. I don't know how they do it. I honestly, I can't fathom being able to look past the obvious thing right in front of your eyes. That whole "don't believe your lying eyes." Well, they don't. They don't believe their eyes. And if Trump or Fetterman or Bibi Netanyahu or whoever tells them it's all lies, they believe it. Ooh, not good. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe. Keep rocking.